So, welcome back to Try or Die Garage. The last video I was just finishing up dressing the engine, painting it, fitting bolt kits, some new gaskets, and so on. I wasn't able to finish it because I had the wrong gasket. It appears that the GSX 750 of that era, sort of early 80s, had both 20 bolt and 24 bolt cam covers. When I ordered the one that I ordered originally, I didn't know. But when I ordered the one that I ordered originally, it was a 20 bolt and not a 24 bolt. So I did get a 24 bolt gasket just before Christmas, and as always, came into the garage intending to film putting the gasket in and then film putting the engine into the frame, but as I tend to do, I just cracked on with it. I can describe putting into the engine into a frame. It was a fucking pain in the arse. So basically what I did was using some rubber blocks, I supported the engine on its right hand side. So I put a towel down, I put some rubber blocks down, I tilted the engine onto its side, I draped a towel over the engine, like a big bath towel, so that the frame wouldn't scratch it anywhere, and then I proceeded to fuck around for about 20 minutes trying to lower the frame onto the engine. And basically it was 15 minutes of it won't fit, 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 and then it did. So I have no fucking idea what special angle or what special thing I did, what tilt in what direction. I just know that it wouldn't go on, and then it did. But of course I hadn't filmed any of that because I forgot. So basically I got the engine in the frame, managed to get the two, managed to put the fixed rear mount bolt into the back of the frame, into the back of the engine, securing it to the frame, and then the upper side lower engine mount, and then the front engine mount, and then I lifted the frame and the engine back onto the tyre that it was been resting on previously, and you guys saw in the last video. And I was so fucking excited with all of that progress that I started reassembling the rest of the bike. So I thought what I would do in this episode is show you exactly what I've done. I've finished off some bits and pieces, and then show you some things that I need to get done, and then we will go from there. The other thing I wanted to do today was the rear master cylinder. It was working, I mean there was nothing wrong with it, but what I want to do is I am going to strip this again for this sort of period of bike. I think on eBay I've seen 4 rear master cylinder kits supposedly for GSX 750s of various model designations, and none of the kits look the same. So what I'm going to do is take this apart and then I will know which kit to order so I can do a proper rebuild. The other thing I'm going to do is strip the paint off the cylinder, strip the paint off the reservoir, clean everything up, and then I'll repaint it and put it back together. So hopefully I will do that in this video. For you lot, it may be a bit like watching paint dry, but yeah, I'll film it anyway. So what I'm going to do now, take the camera off and I'm going to give you a walk around the bike as it stands now, and a couple of things which need doing. Yeah, so I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and then show you what I've done. Right, so it's a bit weird trying to get a picture of everything because my garage is a typical British garage, not wide enough for a car and barely wide enough to rebuild a bike, but this is basically the bike, the frame. It's mounted on a block. I have put the center stand on, but you can see the engine is in the frame. I've also put the battery box in, the seat mount. I have fixed the swing arm in place that you can just about see, the foot peg mounts, the center stand. I have also put the shiny new shocks on, but I am waiting for some spacers so I can center the shocks on the mount at the top. That's kind of what it looks like. I've also got my lovely Yoshimura chain protector. I've put the side stand on, so all of these bits have been powder coated, and you can see the swing arm hanging down at the back with the shiny new shocks at the rear. The other thing that I did was finish assembling the rear wheel on the bike, so I thought I would try and bling things up a bit. I guess the gold and titanium bits are not to everybody's taste, but I thought the colour that I'm going to paint the bike is going to be a pearl white. So the whole bike is going to be a pearl white with some Suzuki and Katana and Yoshi decals on the bike. I was thinking of doing a center stripe running from the nose down the tail, kind of like you can see on some of the paint jobs that were available in some countries, but I am not sure about that. Main reason is cost. So even just a basic single color paint job on a reasonable paint set, which mine is, my paint set is pretty much undamaged, is the best part of 700 quid, which on my budget is a lot of money. But let me just show you. So the rear wheel is assembled and ready to go back in place. I am just waiting for a rear spindle which is being made up for me. So the spindle from the original Katana is the correct diameter for the Bandit wheel. However, it's not wide enough to get through the Metmach swing arm. So the other thing that I wanted to show you, so you can see I've fitted the forks. I need to get fork extensions, so these SRAD forks are roughly 100mm too short, so 10 centimeters. So I need to have fork extensions made up. You can buy some off-the-shelf extensions from a company in Australia, but they come in landed at around £350. But they are proper extensions, so they actually screw into the top of the fork tube, and they have all the proper fittings to make it basically just a longer fork. The extensions I'm having done will simply be a cap or a sleeve which goes over the top of the fork all the way up to the top of the yoke. I'm just trying to think if there are other bits and pieces which are worth showing you. So I have done the brake caliper, so you can see that. Completely rebuilt the brake caliper. I wasn't quite sure what to do with the caliper mount, so I just polished it with a wire wheel, and I think it looks pretty cool, contrasted with the gold of the caliper. I am still waiting for some caliper mount bolts, some socket head caliper mount bolts, but other than that, it's basically a brand new caliper with brand new pads, seals, and so on. So completely rebuilt. I think that's about everything. No, I can show. Have I missed anything? No. It's just a pity I can't really get a proper view of the bike, because I just don't have any room. It's not wide enough to do that, but I think it looks pretty cool. I guess the black, gold and blue is not to everybody's taste, and some purists will also just be upset that it's not standard anymore, but it is what it is. Oh, the other thing which I need to dust off is this tail tidy is from Unicorn Japan, and it's actually a carbon fiber piece of kit that I bought at the same time as the Yoshimura sprocket cover. I also have a, let me try and mount this up, a carbon fiber front mudguard, which actually came with the front end that I got for the bike. It just needs a little bit of cleaning up. There's a few scuffs here and there. I was toying with the idea of painting it, but I suppose one of the reasons you would buy carbon fiber is because it looks like carbon fiber. In case anybody was wondering or gave a fuck, I have kept all the original bits. So down here in the corner, stashed away, is the complete back end of the bike, the original back end, and the complete original front end of the bike. And up top, hidden under that crap, is a complete original all exhaust system, complete original airbox. So if there ever is a future owner or new owner, then they can always put the bike back to stock without a problem, or I could put it back to stock. But anyway, so let me pause this here and get set up, and then get to work on stripping. Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing now. Let me get rid of this. I need to actually buy a phone where I can flip the screens while I'm talking. I can't do it with this phone. This is a, I don't know, 2015 Samsung, probably not even an S something, and this is what I film with. But let me set the camera up and get to work with stripping the master cylinder. Right, let me just plug in the overhead light. Let me get rid of tube off here. Right, so that is the kit that I need. This boot appears somehow to be fused right, so it's all in pieces now. What I'm going to do is I have got a bit of paint stripper in a tin. This Genelite stuff is really good. Just leave that for a little bit and it will come right off. So what next? So just carrying on from where I left off earlier with cleaning up the master cylinder, I've kind of finished that sort of, so I don't know if you can see that, but I have taken the wire wheel to everything and polished it up, so it's all nice and clean. This boot looks to be fairly new, so at some point somebody replaced the boot. I have also done the master cylinder, so I don't know if you can see in this light, but it's quite shiny and quite industrial looking, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to paint it or just leave it as it is. And then I've done the same with, you can see that's really shiny, so the actual reservoir, I've kind of polished it up again. Not sure if I'll paint it. I might do the lower half of the reservoir in the same gold or black and then leave the top sort of silver, but I'm not entirely sure yet, so we'll see. Anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd catch you up on the finished work. Cheers. Right, so that's done it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least found it entertaining. If you like, share and subscribe, please do. If you have any comments or suggestions, please comment, please suggest. I don't care if you're abusive. If it makes you feel better, then by all means take the piss. But anyway, if you have watched any of the previous videos, then thank you very much for watching them. I am now at a grand total of, I think, 30 subscribers. Is it 30? It might be 30 subscribers. So I'm hitting the big leagues. So that will motivate me to keep moving on. As always, gents, keep trying or start dying. Cheers.